Hello, everyone. My name is Daniella, and welcome to our Juneteenth moment. We all mark our time in different ways. Usually, like many, my year starts off with New Year's. Then it's my parents' birthdays, then Easter, then school's out for summer. It's not often when we get to celebrate a new holiday, Juneteenth. The truth is, Juneteenth, June 19th, was always a significant day, but most Americans didn't know about it until it was made a federal holiday in 2021. The holiday's delayed recognition feels painfully ironic, considering it marks the day enslaved African Americans in Texas were freed, which was actually 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was put into effect nationwide. And 156 years later, our nation was officially made aware of Juneteenth, our second Independence Day. Back in 2021, when I was writing for my university's newspaper, the Daily Californian, I wrote an article titled Juneteenth, When Murals on City Walls Tell Stories of Black Liberation. In this article, I reflected on the ways Americans have told stories of Black liberation for all the world to see through art. One mural series I wrote about shows how art can unveil remarkable parts of history that we may not expect or even know of, like Juneteenth. The Amistad murals, painted by Hale Woodruff in 1938, shows a progression from slavery to freedom, starting with the mutiny aboard a Spanish slaveholding ship on its way to Cuba. I felt especially connected to these murals because the 53 illegally seized Africans it depicts were from Sierra Leone, where my family's from. In 1839, when they were seized and put on a ship to later be sold into slavery, the African captives retaliated and attacked crew members to regain their freedom. The first of 6 murals depict this dramatic, blazing fight aboard La Amistad, which Woodruff paints as if he saw the scene himself and managed to capture in slow motion. The second mural depicts an even more unexpected part of the Amistad Rebellion and American history, when the African captives were on trial in the US Supreme Court, with former President, then Congressman, John Quincy Adams representing them. While the imagery of the mural seems tense, the Supreme Court actually ruled in favor of the African captives, declaring that they were illegally kidnapped and thus free. This happened when the US still had enslaved Africans of its own. Once again, awfully ironic. The third mural shows the surviving captives returning to the shores of Sierra Leone, free and home at last. The murals read like poetry, inducing a plethora of emotions as we journey through this story of struggle and freedom. When I was studying abroad in Italy this past semester and traveling through Europe, I visited a countless number of museums, galleries, and churches with beautiful works of art. I saw paintings and sculptures that I knew so much about without even wanting to. I could tell you a little bit about Michelangelo and Raphael. I could tell you a lot about Van Gogh and Leonardo da Vinci, and I'm sure some of you can too. But when it comes to Black art and artists, I don't know so much. I never heard of art like the Amistad murals, despite my connections to it. Anything I know about Black and African art has come from my own research, for articles like the one I wrote or moments like this. It seems that to learn about my own history, I have to go an extra mile. So for today, as we celebrate a day that many of us didn't know before, I thought, why not learn some more? Why not learn about a prominent African American artist, Hale Woodruff, who made art that had meaning, an art that had important social commentary. As we celebrate Juneteenth, let's continue to be open to the parts of history that are still being discovered, stories that remain untold, and art that's yet to be unveiled. Thank you.